Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Update 2, Spouse Hiding Conversations. Update. First of all, my sincere thanks to a lot of folks in this group. Lots of you provided advice, support and kept a constant check on me, while I was in and out of touch. My sincere apologies as well for not being able to provide more frequent updates with the situation, plus sometimes not even responding in timely fashion to DMs. For making a late update, which also makes this update very long. Reference. My first post, Spouse Hiding Conversations after multiple confrontations, needs support as it's me and kids only. Update 1, Update, Spouse Hiding Conversations. Here is my update till mid-July. Final confrontation. Towards second week of June, WS reached out to one of my friend, who I have shared everything with. WS wanted my friend to talk to me and make me understand that there is nothing going on between her and X. My friend, D, came down to talk to us face to face. In our talks, WS confessed to the following. They kissed on the day I caught WS giving a hug to X. Before the hug, they kissed. They kissed couple other times in March when X was around. Initially denied anything else was going on. After I asked, why did you download Snapchat right after Mother's Day? Her response was to talk to her friends. And that she had a Snapchat account for a long time. After further probing and questioning, she still says 99% of talk on Snapchat with X was clean. But, there was a trace of flirting and physical messages. Confession number 1, 2 and 3 are all Trickle truth. I let her know the same day, I cannot keep this relationship going anymore. I just don't believe in marriage, as a relationship, anymore. WS wants to keep the marriage and will do anything and everything to rebuild trust. She does not want to do anything with X and mentions that she did not know what she was doing and why she was doing it. After I informed her sister, you will read about that further in this post, she told her sister that she thinks she was hypnotized and she did now know what she was doing. Next few days after, confronted X, AP, needed the plates of my car that I sold to him, in my mailbox. Once I received them, I called X and the only thing he could say was sorry. He begged me to not let H or J know about this right now. X wanted to share the news his way. He also mentioned that he was never emotionally connected with her and emotional connection matters to him more than anything else. He would never contact my wife, etc. and begged me to not share any of this with H. I also suspended his phone line after I was done with confrontation. Yes, I helped him out with phone line also. I let my WS know that I confronted X and all he could say was sorry. I also let her know how he brought in kids in this whole drama to convince me of their story they both wanted me to believe. She was shocked to hear that he swore on kids to convince me the first time they both tried to feed me a lie. After this event, WS wrote a final goodbye message to X and mentioned to him that they should not talk/connect ever again for the rest of their lives. But, she deleted some messages, which she completely ignored when she showed me what she has written and sent to X. Informed J about everything that transpired in past few months a few days before her journey to US. She was overwhelmed and tried to confirm with me if I was playing a prank. Recorded each and everything X said, during confrontation, and shared it with J and H also warns J about changing all the passwords and not leaving anything open. By this time X was starting to think that I will start talking. J informed me that X has asked for her FB password and asked me to be on lookout if X tries to contact WS using J's FB ID. After about an hour, J sent me a screenshot where X ended up blocking me on J's FB account, just so that I do not reach out to her. J understood what that meant. By this time X was certain I would spill the beans and needed to build up a story. X reached out to WS asking what all she has confessed. WS responded, after letting me know that they have done their final goodbyes, that they connect on FB as Snapchat is out of picture now. And on FB they exchanged messages in a fashion that shows that it was a small emotional outburst on both of their ends and they kissed and there was nothing else. But, who will believe them? Thank God that broken clogger was still working. I was almost going to remove it few days before. Informed WS's eldest sister, I wanted to talk to her in person but could not wait any longer. So, I shared what was going on, what I found and what WS has confessed. Eldest sister is totally broken and asked me to keep open mind, big heart and save impact on kids. She also mentioned that she would not want to even talk to WS for what she has done. And she did not end up talking to her at all until I made a trip to their place and we had the opportunity to talk face to face. Once kids' school was over, during July 4th week I made a trip to her sister's place. Kids of course wanted to spend time with cousins for a very long time, could not meet during the whole COVID time, and we had promised them a trip during summer. I also wanted to have face-to-face conversation with her sisters. Both sisters want me to keep the WS and kids under the same roof, to minimize impact on kids for the time being, since they are too young. Both sisters cannot give me answer on what time being is that 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, etc. They both side with me on understanding that why I would not want to keep a relationship with WS, but, since kids are involved, we would still need to parent them and their request is to keep parenting while being under the same roof. I have informed them that 2 stable houses are better than 1 broken one for kids. Also, I will support WS to stand up on her feet as we work out separate living arrangements, to minimize impact on kids. Both sisters also mentioned to me that they are worried that their father will not survive the news of WS's doing. They are very concerned and requested me to not inform many other people in the family. I do not intend to inform anyone else, except my brother and his wife. I owe it to my family. So far I have not involved anyone from my family. Finally informed my brother and his wife. I informed my brother's wife first, after I spoke to WS's sisters. She heard me out and would want to sit face to face with me and WS to really understand root cause of why WS behaved in the way she did. I spoke to my brother and told him each and everything I did to find out and what all happened with a timeline. He is shocked. His initial reaction was for me to give it a chance with proper reconciliation and absolutely using professional help in rebuilding self and relationship. Brother also wants to have in-person talks with us to understand why would WS do this. My current struggles. I have still not filed for D. I should have done this as first step, but I have not. At the same time, I wholeheartedly believe that I don't want to invest any more in a relationship with WS. I hate hurting people. And I know the direction I want to go is going to. I also know that I don't have to feel that this is my doing, but, I'm torn on this feeling. Most probably this is the thing that is keeping me from progressing on divorce paperwork. Impacts my kids. I definitely know that they will be looking for me and mom to be available whenever they want. How this separation will impact them mentally and their behaviors, is what fears me. Also points I highlight in number 3.3. Thinking about dropping kids to her or her dropping kids to me, makes me cringe. Impacts families, mostly WS's side of family. This already has started impacting eldest sister. She has been through a lot in her life. She already needs counseling on this. As I mentioned earlier, her parents will have a huge impact as well. I'm not worried or too much bothered about this. Impacts WS, as all of her family supports me, WS is cornered and left alone. As I had set up some support for her from my friends, she is still reaching out to them on her struggles. This leads to multiple things. WS being depressed and struggle to do day to day, and this will directly impact kids day to day. I keep feeling that I would need to help her with her struggles. I know I don't need to, but I'm struggling on this. I think this is tough one because, for the past 12 years I have always tried to be in front of everything that came our way. And now I have to change my habit while WS is still around and we are still living together day in and day out. I also don't think this will end soon, as we will be co-parenting and I would need to be in touch and communication with her. WS had to file for unemployment starting 7/4. Maybe this will have a financial impact on me. But, I'm not too much worried about financial split or impact, read alimony. End of day, I think just as a normal human and a co-parent, I will still be doing a lot to keep it going for kids. Well, I still don't know if and how I can continue my relationship with WS. I'm really torn between I don't want to stay with WS and what it will entail on others. WS's position, she wants to keep the family together and is willing to do anything I ask for. After I have started blowing this up, her demeanor, attitude and way to doing things has changed. And slowly she has started accepting that she would need to be on her own. To her credit, she did mention this. She does now know why she did this while she never envisioned future with X or wanted to have future life with X. This tells me only one thing, that she wants to keep feet in both places. A lot to read and a bit of a wild post. Thanks a lot for reading, and I really appreciate all the support I get from this group. In between all of this, our 12-year anniversary passed and next week is my daughter's 5th birthday. Part of being an adult and a parent is making hard and unpopular decisions. First, you should have already served her with divorce papers. You admit this but don't like hurting people. Second, you think her sisters are on your side but they are really just trying to manipulate you to keep the family together, i.e. not divorce your wife, their sister. They are not on your side. They are telling you what you want to hear and you are falling for it. Just like their sister, your wife, they are telling you lies to keep you from divorce, and it looks like it has worked. Also, why do your brother and his wife need to know why your wife did this? Who gives a damn? She did it, she lied about it again and again and again and again and again. She is still lying about it. It went from we are just friends, to we hugged, to we kissed more than once, to whatever lie of the week she is telling you now. You saw their messages. She was going to leave you for this guy but X didn't want to leave his wife for your wife. You are the backup plan. Remember that. All that crap about her planting in the garden with you, trying to initiate sex with you all of a sudden, and doing all these other things she wouldn't normally do are just her love bombing you so you won't divorce her. You have brought in your brother and his wife, your wife's sisters, and generally made a huge mess of this. Your brother's wife doesn't need to know why she did it. That is pointless. She won't be honest with them either. Your wife's sisters don't need any input into the situation. In fact, they probably know the truth about what your wife and ex did sexually. You do not know. Adults who have strong emotional feelings like those in the messages between your wife and ex do not just kiss a few times. Those adults have sex. And you know it. That's why you don't want to stay with your wife. I have informed them that 2 stable houses are better than 1 broken one for kids. Exactly. You've finally stood up for your kids. Yes, this is about you, but it's also about your children. They will adapt to 2 separate homes and to co-parenting. It happens every day, and as long as you work out a good plan beforehand, the court and children's advocates can help with that, it will be fine. If you stay with your wife, she will continue to contact X, just as she swore she wouldn't, while you stand there, your resentment and anger growing each day. She has already set up FB to use for this purpose and likely has yet another hidden app to use to talk to X that you don't know about. Her next step will be a burner phone that you don't even know exists. If you stay with her, you will just resent her more and more each day for making you live this lie of a marriage. And your kids will pick up on this tension between you two and it will affect them. You've made this too complicated. You've brought in too many people who feel they have a right to have a say in your marriage. No, her sisters have no say, nor does your brother or his wife. They don't need to know why. Hell, she hasn't even told you why. She just keeps trickle-truthing and gaslighting you even after you've gotten confirmation from X. She had lied so much there is no way you can ever trust her. Have her served with divorce papers. Then you two can work out a co-parenting plan. Then file the papers. Stop bringing in all these outside people that all have an agenda. It will only leave you, and eventually your kids, miserable. Your wife is probably never going to tell you the truth, and it is clear beyond a doubt she loves X, or at least is deep in the affair fog. File the papers. You've said you don't want to remain married, you don't trust your wife. She has had an affair and clearly cares deeply for X, yet her story constantly changes. They had sex. She won't tell you, probably ever. Move on. I'm sorry to sound so harsh, but you are making this more complicated than it is. Only 17 states are no-fault states, so you have a pretty good chance of being in an at-fault state. Adultery should be easy to prove even if you can't prove sex occurred. Good luck and keep it simple. The kids will be fine if both parents love them and don't criticize each other in front of the kids. I agree with you, your marriage is broken and your wife betrayed you horribly. If X had wanted your wife, she would be divorcing you right now. So get going. P.S. You didn't mention anything else that happened between X and J after you told J what you knew and played her a recording of the confrontation with X. All you said was that J told you X asked for her FB password and used it to block you. Is X just trying to convince her you are a liar who made all this up despite your recording? All of this. You can't live your life for the benefit, comfort and convenience of other people. That way lies anger and resentment. The only people you need to consider in all of this are your kids, and you already know they'll be better off in two happy households rather than in a malignant one. Agree? Thanks for your thoughts and advice. Thanks a lot for your detailed response, much needed push and spot on advice. I agree that filing for divorce should have been my first step. All this could have happened after serving the papers too. I do feel that I have created too much unnecessary drama. But, at a point I did feel that WS may harm herself physically, and that led me to inform her sister/S. I'm not falling for anything they tell me. I believe by the time I brought all of these to light, X was already trying to get out of all this mess and was becoming more and more non-responsive to WS. I'm also very sure that it was X's idea to start using Snapchat. WS is not too tech-savvy and cannot figure such things out. But yes, they both did not expect me to blow this up so far. They thought they will convince me somehow. I agree with you that she has not yet come out completely clean, which tells me that she wants to keep the story intact so that at least X's marriage is saved. Again, not thinking of this relationship, this is the biggest part that drives me to file the papers. After I informed everything to J decided to come to the USA and then confront X in person. I believe in the first week of July J did confront X. I have not heard anything further. I did give J some ways she can reach out to me if X blocks all of my contacts for her. Nothing yet. I think J might be working towards a recon, most probably because X might have fed her emotional BS. H&R also might be actively trying to convince her to stay because of kids. At this point J, along with 2 kids, would have finished her first ever 19 days in USA, and she might be in a limbo of what to do, while she is in a completely new place and have no family or any other friends to support. J might end up believing whatever BS stories these guys would feed her. I don't know her well, so I can't say for sure. I'm in a no-fault state, plus WS just filed for unemployment. So, I will take guidance from lawyer ASAP and take next steps sooner rather than later. Good for you. Like you said, all of this could be done after you file for divorce and have her served. It's not going to happen overnight, so the quicker you file the better. Plus your soon-to-be ex will get a lawyer, and then her lawyer will have to talk with yours, things will have to be worked out, custody, alimony if any, etc. It's good she has filed for unemployment, that gives her some income. I would try to get primary custody if I were you. You will get to see your kids more often, and she might have to pay you child support. Don't take less than joint custody. If you are in an at-fault state, the infidelity will help you. If you're in a no-fault state, the shame of telling everyone about her cheating and lying is still a useful tool. It's not your responsibility to make her look like the good guy in this divorce. Don't cover up for her. Just remember, go ahead and serve her. It will take months and months to get a divorce, and there will be plenty of negotiating between you and her. Not that you should, but you can always change your mind right up until the judge signs off on the divorce. Please don't do that. Smile. I suspect X has been able to convince his wife that your wife was to blame, and has probably told his wife that she came on to him and he just thinks of her as an old friend. Glad you responded. I was worried when I saw all these people you had involved or who had involved themselves in whether or not you should divorce. All these people wanting an explanation when you yourself haven't gotten the truth. Her sister's trying to get you to stay for the kids, when you know it's for their sister. Two separate happy homes are always better for children than one unhappy home. Kids will pick up on the tension, anger and unhappiness in a home. Even little kids, like 3 years old, will notice if parents are fighting. I've actually seen that happen. Anyway, best of luck and serve those papers. Also, don't say a word about anything to her sisters, your brother and his wife, unless you know your brother will absolutely keep it to himself. If you need to vent, choose a close friend or family member that you can trust to talk to. Therapy is also probably a good idea. For you, not for marriage. If she can't come clean and be honest, therapy is a waste of time and money. Watch out for the tears, the lies, the love bombing, the manipulation, the gaslighting, sex as manipulation, the denials, basically everything from the cheating spouse handbook. Best of luck. You know what is the worst of all your doubts regarding the impact that your decision will have? Your wife never cared about that. She didn't care how her affair would impact the kids, the family or you. She didn't care. She just wanted her affair, and now it is up to you to make the tough decisions. Here is a thought for you regarding how to move forward. Your wife wishes right now that you would have never found out about her affair. Not because she regrets what she did, she only wishes that she could continue her affair. Because that is what she would be doing right now if you wouldn't have found out. It is exactly like you said, your kids shouldn't grow up in a broken home, and right now, your home is as broken as it can be. Trust, gone. Respect, gone. Love, gone. That is not a house your kids should grow up in. Take a first step, call a lawyer and make an appointment. Do what your wife never did. Care about the life of your kids, yourself and your family. Your wife made her decision a long time ago, accept it and move on. Bro, look at all post his WS is scared like hell, and after all his post I believe there is more to the story and she is hiding. Yes, I think at this point WS is scared as hell. Also, anyone she would have gone for support is not available for her. There is definitely more than kissing and any BS that is being fed to me. Maybe she would have stopped for now because Jay was about to join X, but both WS and X would have hooked up again at first opportunity they would have got, no doubt about it. This pain will not end until I put an end to it, so yes, I will take the required step and work with lawyers' advice ASAP. Thanks for putting it out there in very simple words. Trust, gone. Respect, gone. Love, gone. That is not a house your kids should grow up in. What gets me is that the AP contacted the WS to find out exactly what was told to the BS. That leads me to believe that much more than kissing happened. Yes, that was to get their stories to line up so one didn't accidentally reveal more truth than the other. Yes, 100%. AP was taking it too lightly when WS was mentioning that I was seriously confronting her and did not stay in touch with her enough. AP got shock of life when he received the gifts I returned. Gifts that AP got for my kids. I put them in mail and sent it back to him, saying I did not want my kids to have gifts from him. That's when AP tried to get in touch with WS, to check what exactly she shared with me. I believe they spoke on phone and then they tried to create a trail of messages on FB. So that AP can use the trail of messages to weave story for AP's wife. So yeah, much more than 100% it's more than kissing. Don't stay together just for the children. They will know the home is toxic. They will do better if you two co-parent. Yup. I was 5 when my parents divorced. The toxicity that went on between them before the separation are some of my earliest memories. Sorry that your earliest memories about your parents are about toxicity between them. I'm sure my kids are currently building some of them. Thanks for providing your perspective, it is very helpful. Agree. She will do anything to save the marriage. Except tell the full truth. This. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night. Wherever you are.